Hi guys, very good afternoon to you. Welcome to the video number 544. My name is Ajay Parmar and you're watching youtube.com/c/Ajay Kumar Parmar. This is the channel name and we have got 540 videos on Excel, VBA, Access and Access VBA, Outlook VBA as well. Right. So today we are going to talk about the VBA function which you can use to replace the strings, right? One string, two string, there could be a number of strings, so how to actually do that. And as you can see that this is not any Excel front-end function. We will be talking about the Excel VBA. Okay, so this is the playlist, by the way. Before we just jump on to the real example, just note it down. This is the playlist sequence you are supposed to follow if you're looking for the any of the given subjects here. If you're looking for the from the learning perspective, you can go and check out the sequence in this way. Okay, so now we have I have made some transaction numbers over here, and so what we are supposed to do is, for example, let me just drag it on the top. So guys, we have to replace this before with the afterword, this BEF with the AFT, right, using the VBA. And what exciting thing is we are going to learn in this video is that you will have a full control. Whichever cell you select, that cell will only be replaced. For example, if you select this cell and you run the macro, that is going to be replaced. If you select, let's say, all these cells, then all these cells, if your function finds that word, then that is something which is going to be replaced. So it will totally, is going to work on the selection area. So that is what we want to do. So let's quickly go to the Visual Basic. And in the module here we are going to write this macro. So I name this macro as replace text. Okay, now if you're not if you're new to the VBA and you don't have any knowledge about the the VBA functions, no worries guys. I have 50 playlists which I just shared with you, and so under those 50 playlists there is one playlist called Excel VBA functions. And not only just you can go and check the other functions, how to use it, and but also you can see how to create your own functions, because right now this replace function is a VBA function. So you have to go by the the rules parameter, the functions parameters, but we have the user defined functions as well. In you can create that. We call them user defined functions, UDFs. Okay, so I have talked about everything under this Excel VBA function playlist, so go and have fun. Now so for the first thing which we will be doing in this case is that because you want to work on the selection, so you have to create a selection range guys here. So my idea is that if I select, let's say, 3 cells, then obviously that replace should work in all the 3 cells one by one. So we are going to use a loop called for each. This is how we write for each cell in range. This is the very basic way of writing the this loop. Now what this loop does is that this works in a on every cell one by one, and it loops through all the cells of your range, and once it covers all the cells, it just immediately exit. Now you have to define that what is your range basically, right? So you can write here selection, right? And this is a VBA word. This is not my own word, remember that. This is a VBA word, selection, and you have to define one object variable, let's say my cell, as a range, right? Because you directly can't use this word cell. So we're gonna write here my cell IJKL, whatever you want to do, you can do that. Now if you go ahead and run this, for example, I just put the message box. I want to show you, see this, my cell dot value. Now dot value is automatically coming when you know that my cell is not a VBA word, but it is still picking up, this dot operator is working, this period operator is working, because now my cell is going to be considered as a range. That's how basically you define your classes. You create your own objects and you give them the property in the methods of that particular class. In this case, my cell is object which I have created, and this is going to take all the properties and the methods from my range class, which is defined in the VBA. Now if I just run this, you see how it is going to work. Variable not defined, I beg your pardon. This next cell should be actually my cell. And now we run this. Now you can see that I got the first transaction number, which is perfect, and this is the only selection I have, by the way. If you just go and select, you know, all these 6-7 transactions, and if you just run this code, let me press F5, you see one by one it is going to come in action. So this is how we're going to run this loop, right? So in obviously I don't need the message box, so I just simply comment it out. What you need is actually you want to replace. What you want to replace? Well, so we will write here my cell dot value, because the new value should be what you get after replacing that BEF word, right? So we say that my cell dot value should be replaced. This is how we use the replace function. Now you have a lot of parameters here. You can see expression. What is the first parameter? Expression. Expression means what do you want to replace, actually, you know, I mean, where you want to replace. What is that expression? Obviously that point in time, whatever value we will have in the loop. Now, for example, the first time if it runs, it is going to pick up the D3. So that value, and what do you want to find? So let's say we want to find BEF. Okay, so I write here BEF, and this should be replaced with what? This should be replaced with, let's say, it is a before. I want to replace it with AFT, right? Now you can see that when I press comma, there is another parameter getting bold, which is start, from where you want to start, and then there is a count, right? Now count is something, start means from where you want to start. I want to start from 1, so by default you can leave it is, you know, leave it empty. Count is something that if you want to replace only 2 BEF, you know, before values, then you can write here 2. Okay, if you want to replace everything, then you don't have to write it. So this is how we will go and run the code. Now before I run this code, or maybe yeah, we can run on this selection area. So let's just go and quickly, you know, run this, and let's have a look. You can see that within just milliseconds, guys, everything is converted to AFT, and all the AFT, all the, you know, those before are converted into AFT, right? Now I just go and drag it back. I make it again BEF, and this time again I select that. Now what I do is I do couple of changes. I start using this, the start as long parameter. Okay, so start as long parameter means from where I want to start. So obviously this is going to be 1, but the important point comes is the count. So let's say I just want to replace only 2 before words, right? So I just write here 2. Now this should not replace the third one, right, as per my understanding. So let's go and run the code. Now as you can see that we have got the first 2 BEF replaced, and the third is still left, right? So these are the option parameters, guys. This number of occurrences, you know, this one, if I show you again, the count actually, this means that if you want to replace how many times, if your the value which you're searching, if it is coming 4 times, would you like to replace it 3 times, 2 times? If you want to replace it 4 times, then you don't have to provide this parameter as you saw in the first time, right? So if I just write here 1 by 1, then what do you think? What should be the output if I just run it again? Now obviously then the first BF will be replaced, and we will not have the rest of the 2 BF, so you know they will remain there. So let's just run this. You can see that now the first one is replaced. Now because my selection is only the D3, so it replaced only D3. But if I just go and, you know, select the entire table, not the entire, but maybe let's say this table, now you see that when I'm going to run this, what's going to happen? Look at this, guys. So only the first thing, the first instance, you know, the occurrence is replaced. So this is how your replace function, and this is how beautifully you can convert this, you know. You can make this code, and you can give the full control to the user. And needless to say, you have to create here a button, right? If you don't want to create a button, you can create some kind of an icon as well. Like this is the, you can see that, you know, this is one of my macro I have created, guys. This has a name called Ajay Time, right? And I talked about this, that how you can go and create these the buttons if you just do not even want to go and insert, you know, these shapes. So you can go and watch that video on that, right? So anyways, thank you so much for your support, and celebrating this 5,000 subscribers now, plus 5,000 plus in fact now. So please guys, keep watching, have fun, and share all the knowledge with me, and we keep coming back and uploading these great videos. I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much. Bye bye.